Previously on PolyArmoury.
I'm very much into the idea of going straight off to Severton in order to go do our first job as promoted employees.
Now this is officially your cart and you've got to look after it. It's a bit more important. You take care of it and anything you happen to leave in there. So this is the security device. If you point it at the cart and do a little gesture, it will create a force shield around the cart. You see a small independent chicken shop named Tasty Rat, all one word. And it appears to be some form of drive-through where you can pick up some Tasty Rat. You hand your
5 minutes later.
change over, and the same goblin that you saw from the previous window now hands you a huge sack of food, you greedy bastards. Well, upon actually physically standing up, you notice that yes, in fact, this goblin is changed to something.
Let's take our badges off and liberate this restaurant, yeah?
You could just be PolyArmoury Requisition Patrol.
Yeah,
So
we
you
could
just
just
be
be
P.A.R.P.
P.A.R.P. Yeah, we are P.A.R.P.
We are P.A.R.P.
I feel a little bit unwell.
You feel very unwell, and you, certainly more than Brilmara, are very aware of the fact that this does not taste quite the same as most rat that you've eaten before.
Oh no.
Probably a little.
There's probably a knoll called Molotov somewhere in this wonderful world.
Nolatov cocktail.
Molotov!
That's canon.
Yes!
Goodness.
I think we should crack open these drinks that we've got and see what they're like.
You pop the tops off of these bottles of Nestle Spring, give them a sniff, and it smells like water, and you drink it, and it tastes like water
Oh, shit.
that you might drink out of any river.
Oh wow. We just paid a silver for some bottled fucking water.
You spot the first of the bodies shortly after this. This person has been badly burnt. They're 80% carbonised bone and the rest is charred, rotting meat. They died on fire and running for their life.
9 constitution.
I got
Okay.
the bucket.
Yep, you're feeling a bit sicky, and you're going to have disadvantage on throws until you leave town.
Okay.
You pick your way towards the back of the room, and there is a large metal safe that is still very much secured to the floor and in one piece and locked. And as you're doing this, you think you hear a noise behind you.
Hey Bats, any of you around? Hoping to know who's coming for us.
Nah, man, it's all cool. Hey, safe. Be more safe. The safe does not respond.
No, can you see where the pins in the lock are or anything? With your cool sonar voice?
Yeah,
Where are they?
they're in the safe. There is the remains of a warehouse. To the side of the door, you notice that it says staff entrance, and above the door, it says Obmans. You look at the contacts list, and there, as exactly as your memory recalls, Trash Boy, Lauren, Obman, brackets, boss, and Dave, brackets, worm guy.
Oh.
Give me those screws.
Here's the screws. Have my screw.
A attempts to use the screws to pick the lock of the safe. Yay!
You pick the safe. Inside, there is a bag with 2,000 gold and a hash stone.
Is there a secret drawer?
There is quite a hefty-looking morning star.
This would go nicely in my stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, do you
Shall
want
I
to add
keep
a
the
morning
rapier
star
then?
+1 to your equipment?
Yeah.
You can keep the rapier, yeah?
Yeah, cool.
Do you want to add that to your equipment?
Yeah, sure thing.
Look at you two tooling up. There's a long table which has some bowls on it. There appears to be something, it may once have been a fungus, but now it's gone mouldy and horrible in these bowls and it smells awful. There are a number of chains connected to the table that seem to be leading off a little ways away behind some fallen boxes. Eventually you do find there are some pretty beaten up looking people under here. They are all gnomes, all chained by their ankles.
Oh my god, they're gnome slaves.
They look pretty malnourished, and amongst them you notice that not all of them survived under there.
Oh
And
god.
in order to survive the 2 odd weeks since the
Oh,
tragedy
no.
happened here,
Oh
they
no!
might have been having to eat the remains of their colleagues.
Because my priority is get these guys out of here before this place falls apart anymore. I want to walk around the remains of the PolyArmoury with the hash stone
clutched in what remains of the arms of another member of staff is a great sword. There's a red stone in the pommel. You are fairly certain you can see a humanoid shape. I'm not dangerous. Yeah. Well, my family, we've been bards for generations. I'm looking for the family songbook. In there is a small-ish leather-bound book.
Is this it?
You hold it up, and the dwarf looks absolutely elated. That's it, yeah, that's Ferrus. I'm bard.
Ferrus,
like iron.
yeah.
You couldn't give us a lift just outside town. I'm heading north to the Faerie Forest.
Fighting death and human horse, Thorson tried to kill them all. They escaped the vile moor. Now PolyArmoury store. PolyArmoury.
That's fucking amazing.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to Stone Monkey Radio's roleplay series, PolyArmoury. I am Jane Magnet, and I am the mistress of this dungeon. Joining me today to be spanked until they scream the safe word, which today is emasculate, are Laura Kate Dale.
Hello. I'm here, just about awake.
And Astrid Johnson.
I bought new deodorant today, and it smells pretty good.
What does it smell of?
I can't quite describe the smell, but it's like a pleasant, clean smell.
Is it cotton?
It might be cotton.
It's usually
It
cotton
might
when
be
it
cotton.
smells like that.
Yeah.
What have we
Probably
been
is.
up to?
I helped put together a feature about games that I would want to see on the Nintendo 64 Mini, should such a thing come to exist.
It was a very good article.
I
It
very
was.
much enjoyed it. I will put up a review of Fire Emblem Warriors, and I've been playing Mario Odyssey,
Hey.
which my coverage of will be up by this point.
Nice.
Hey.
I've been playing Mario Odyssey, and oh my goodness, that is a huge, very good Mario game.
Nice.
There's
Is
a
it-
lot of Mario in that Mario.
Is it a very nice video game?
It is a very nice video game if you ignore the fact that Mario is taking control of the minds of thousands of helpless beings and making them do his bidding for his own personal benefit.
I mean, that sounds like, even if you do factor it in, that's an amazing video game, to me personally.
Oh, amazing, yes. Whether you would say the word nice is like,
Yeah.
do you care about the humans who are getting their brains
No.
controlled?
Bit horrifying, but in a kind of cool way.
What about the rest of you?
I am on gamesindustry.biz now.
Oh, heck.
Got a thing on there. I interviewed some technical artists at the Bournemouth Visual Effects Festival. Jodie Azar from Creative Assembly and Matt Dickinson from Frontier Developments. You may know these studios. Creative Assembly, of course, with Total War. And Frontier Developments made Elite Dangerous and also Planet Coaster. And I talked to them about being technical artists in the games industry, because it's an often overlooked facet of games development. And it's very interesting and very cool. And more people might realise they're maybe into technical artistry after finding more out about it. And that was a good interview I did. So you can go check that out on gamesindustry.biz. I have been uni-ing. And it's meant that you won't have been seeing a lot of content, for as much content from me as you usually do, but I'm starting to get on top of things properly, so stay tuned, friends.
What about you, Jane? What have you been up to?
I've I played and reviewed Overgrown.
How did you find it?
Long story short, 2 out of 10, absolute garbage.
Yep.
That's what I've heard from a lot of people.
You can read my review over at stonemonkeyradio.blog. Ta-da!
It's
All
a
I
very
know
good
about
review.
it is it's about being a ninja rabbit, and it's not very good.
You are a ninja rabbit that has amazing moon physics that can fly about halfway across a map and fly kick somebody in the head, which is amusing for about 10 minutes.
I was going to say, for about 10 minutes, that sounds fantastic and
It
amazing.
is. Yeah, I had more fun, I think, jumping off stairs, doing little somersaults and kicks and various other moves and trying to land perfectly than I did actually playing the game. So it turned into sort of Tony Hawk's meets parkour meets furries.
Which would have been a better video game, as you said.
Definitely a better game.
Yeah.
I think
It's
someone
a
needs to make that
shame.
game.
It's a shame, really, because I remember being excited for that video game in my final year of secondary school because it's been in development for 9 years.
Yeah.
I dread to think what I was doing 9 years ago.
Oh
'Cause I'm
god, I
old.
was
I'm
I
old.
was 17 when that was first in development, and that was a very different time in my life.
I was 28. Because I'm
Life
old.
runs by fast.
Life goes fast, pretty fast. In the Underdark. Anyway, shall we continue?
We shall.
At the end of last episode, we had left Severton with an interesting sword, which I hope somebody remembered to put on their character sheet.
I believe I put it on mine.
Excellent. An interesting sword with a red stone in the pommel. You were accompanied by 3 gnomes who had been rescued from a collapsing warehouse owned by somebody called Obman.
Oh god, those poor gnomes.
Of which there was no
poor
sign.
gnomes.
They had resorted to cannibalism.
It's fine, they're alive. Everything's okay.
They survived for 2 weeks on only other gnomes.
They had to consume their comrades.
They did. That's, reclaiming the means of nutrition from those who had it to spare to those who desperately needed it. Think about it that way. It's much sweeter.
I mean, I guess.
And you also have a small dwarf with a lute on his back named Ferrus,
Oh yeah, that guy.
who has asked for a lift to Faerie Forest.
So we're going there now, and I'm excited to see what we discover in a place called the Faerie Forest.
Okay. So you
Also, can I just say, Fairies Underground is interesting.
maybe it's just called Faerie Forest TM rather than being... Just like Tasty Rat, all one word was...
I suppose, but
Of
I hear
ambiguous
fairies and I'm
accuracy.
picturing fairies.
Exactly. You can't say that it's not that thing because it's spelt differently.
It's true.
Yes.
You make a good point.
See, this is how branding works. So you're heading off to Faerie Forest. You're heading off to Faerie Forest.
Was that the transition noise?
That was me doing the 12-inch remix version of that sentence. So, so yes,
like
you're heading to Faerie Forest. Yes, no.
Yes, we are.
Very well. Then you trundle through the caves and tunnels of the Underdark, and Ferrus gives you a few directions. Eventually, you come to a large open cavern, and you park up just outside. You taking everyone in, or?
I mean, yeah.
I have no reason not to. I'm assuming we can just continue driving the cart in.
This is basically the parking lot. Everything in from here would be indoors.
So we've got to go on foot from here.
Yeah, would
Okay,
be.
guys,
You can't
everyone
drive
remember
into
what
this.
parking bay we're in. Everyone remember what parking... We're in parking bay C, okay?
Yep, with you.
Gotta remember
Okay.
that.
I'm never going to remember that, so...
Oh no, okay.
Someone write it down on the Scrytome,
I
maybe?
mean, I could, but wouldn't it be funny if I didn't and we had to try and find our car after this?
You could
very
you could
awkwardly,
take a picture
like
on
a
your
suburban
Scrytome.
family.
So that you knew where it was.
Oh yeah,
Thanks.
okay.
Take a Scrytome picture, there we go. Let's all go
Take
into
a
the Faerie
picture
Forest.
of the parking bay and set it to the Scrytome lock screen picture. Because I'm going to assume it has that.
Of course, absolutely.
Excellent. So that whenever we look at the Scrytome, we know, oh, we're in parking bay C.
Absolutely. Okay. From the outside, you can see sort of interesting flashing lights glowing on the ceiling, and a sort of a pounding beat, as if quite rhythmic music is being played. You come into this large open cave with a raised dais in the centre, and here sits a very odd creature with 12 limbs, some playing drums, others playing violins, cymbals, a double bass. From what you can see from under this being's extremely wide-brimmed hat, they are an ape-like creature, or certainly have an ape-like face, and they're just banging out a beat that is begging to be danced to. There are many figures all around, up and dancing in various brightly coloured clothing. Some of them have painted faces, and they're all just dancing to this endless rhythmic beat. Around the room are a number of seating areas. They're variously arranged with cushions and blankets for people to just curl up in. And these are arranged around a number of large glowing mushrooms, which seem to be natural to this cave. Some are green, some are blue, and they seem to react to the music by flashing.
It's a rave!
At the far end of the room, there appears to be a large amber crystal formation growing up one wall behind a bar area. The room smells faintly of incense and fruit tobaccos and dove leaf. As you enter this area, Ferrus says, thanks so much for the lift. It's been so helpful, and slides off into the crowd. You are approached.
Can I just say, before we do anything else, I run back outside and make sure we have definitely locked the cart, because I'm slightly obsessive and making sure we definitely locked the cart.
Okay, did you lock the cart? Because you didn't mention it earlier.
No, I locked the cart with the force field if I didn't already lock it.
Okay, are you taking everything with you? You're not leaving leaving anything in the car before you lock it?
Taking everything that we are likely to need.
Okay, as you run back in, you see that Madame Valerie and Thrall are being approached by an older goblin woman. She has long backed combed hair that's mostly grey. Her clothes look as old as she is, patched here and there with mismatched fabrics. She has a number of ribbons tied around her forearms and greets you warmly. Hello, love, so have you ever been to Faerie Forest before? It's so lovely to see new faces.
We've never been to the Faerie Forest before, but this sounds like a wonderful place. Or looks like a wonderful place.
Oh, we got all kinds going on here. If you want to have a nice rest, you can get drinks up the back or something else if you like. And take a seat anywhere. It's entry fee is 1 gold and 5 silver each.
Lovely. I pay up 4 gold. 1 gold. 4 gold and 5 silver.
1 gold, 5 silver.
We hand over 9 gold.
And the older goblin takes your money from you and unhitches a ribbon from around her forearm and starts to give you your wristbands for the evening. And as she gets to the gnomes at the back of the group, she says, "Oh, darlings, you look so pale. Are you all right?"
They have had a right old rough time of the last couple of weeks.
Oh, no. Anything we can do to help? Do you need something to eat? There's snacks at the bar.
If there's anything that we can find them to eat that is, designed to be food, that would be good.
Oh, sure. Just head up the back. I'm sure they'll be able to sort you out something lovely. I think there's cake up there too.
At which point I'm fully expecting the gnomes to run off for food that is not other gnomes.
They're a bit fragile and weak, but...
Well, we'll help them get over if they require help getting over there.
And with that, the gnomes shuffle off together and head towards the bar to try and find something to eat.
I hope they'll be okay.
Here's my feelings, Madame Valerie, and feel free to disagree, but I quite like this place, and we have paid for entry. And we did our mission, and we're not in a huge rush to get back.
Oh, we're going to stay here and appreciate the place.
Yeah, I'm just thinking we go leave all our stuff in the cart and make sure the cart is nice and locked. And then I think we just come back in and enjoy this place for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I see what you're saying, and Madame Valerie rushes out towards the car to drop all her shit off.
As do I. I think it'd be pertinent to keep some money with us, and a weapon in case needed. I think for myself, I want to keep spell components with me, but I think we can leave a lot of things.
I'll keep my whip.
Yeah, I will keep my Morning Star and my spell components. But I think otherwise, like, definitely the valuables we have been accruing for the mission should be left in the locked cart.
Like the giant, probably very expensive sword.
Yes, as I put it in my notes, the fancy treasure sword.
I like it. It's very apt.
Yep, so we go, put all those things back in the cart, lock the cart, and come back inside to have a look around.
Amongst other things.
Where are you heading? You just doing a circuit, or do you want to head to the bar? Or...
I want to do a circuit first and get a sense of, like, if anything particular is jumping out at us.
Yeah.
Brilmara, I'm going to need a wisdom saving throw. I think this is quite a lot of sensory input for you.
Okay, wisdom. Where is wisdom? 21.
Nice!
Natural
That's
20.
that
You're
was really
surprisingly
good.
okay with this, considering the amount of sound and noise and lights and people.
I'm dealing very well with this level
You
of
are,
sensory
don't you?
thing right now. Go me.
Match. You are a natural. Apparently. Okay, so you make your way around the room. There are a number of lizard folk dressed in black clothes standing here and there in dark corners. They appear to be some kind of security keeping an eye on people, but largely being unobtrusive. You wander round the room. You come across a small halfling wearing sort of what look like leather dungarees, but they're a bit like chaps. So she's obviously got some cotton trouser underneath there as well, and has a couple of double axes just sat next to her. She is lying with her head on a huge rainbow-coloured lynx.
Oh, heck.
It's large and fluffy, and it has those little tufted ears that make it look that bit longer, and a little stubby tail. And she is the halfling who is with this battle lynx is just pissing herself laughing and stroking the fur of the lynx, who doesn't seem too fussed one way or another. You keep going past. You see a couple of orcs. One seems to have quite short, spiky purple hair, and she's wearing a sort of velvet burgundy cocktail dress and an awful lot of very shiny, garish jewellery. She's sitting with a largely bored-looking orc who has black hair, looks a bit paunchy, and is wearing sort of denim trousers and a cotton shirt. And they are flanked by a large bugbear who looks very uncomfortable and is for some reason in a suit and tie. This is clearly not this bugbear's natural environment. Sitting at the table is Ferrus, and he's just sitting there with his hand on the music book that you picked up earlier, and they seem to be having some quite intense conversation. You make your way past the bar, which was at the far end of the room. Here you see the barman, who is rushing up and down, getting glasses of water for people. You also see the gnomes you came with earlier. They're looking a bit disenfranchised. It appears that they're just sort of huddled by the side of the bar. They don't appear to have got anything to eat or drink, and they are just sort of sitting there looking a bit sad for themselves. Behind the bar is a large, as I said earlier, a large amber crystal formation that grows right up to the ceiling, and it appears to have some sort of thick liquid that drips over the top of it, and you assume that this is where these crystals are formed from. Every now and again somebody will come to the bar, and the bartender will crack off a piece of this crystal, grind it up.
Sorry, continue.
Grind it up into a powder and exchange some cash for some of this crystal. They're also offering alcoholic drinks and water. They appear to be selling dove leaf as well as fruit tobaccos, and also various smoking paraphernalia for anyone who happens to have forgotten Rizzlers, or whatever the Underdark equivalent is. Forgotten smoking papers. Other smoking papers do exist. Other better smoking papers. Unless Rizzler want to support us. I don't know what I'd do with that sponsorship.
presumably get some Rizzlers, I suppose.
I would guess so. Walking round the far side, you see just general people. There is a couple of people sitting under one of the blue mushrooms, looking a bit too far gone on whatever it is they've had.
Oh.
And sort of kneeling near to them, holding a water flask, is an absolutely beautiful elf. He is tall and angular. He has a very strong jaw. His hair is cropped quite short at the back and sides, but is longer on top and is bleached blonde. His pointy ears are extensively pierced, and he wears yellow cotton trousers with no shirt and a magnificent patchwork coat in a number of colours. The collar is pulled up. He looks kind of cool. He has a ready smile, and his eyes are golden with brown flecks. He looks quite skinny, but he's clearly quite lean and muscular. You can see from his open coat. He clearly does a lot of work on his body, and his right nipple is pierced. And then you are basically back at the front of the party.
So, I have a list of a couple of things I want to get done while we're here, but I want to make sure the first thing I do is, because we brought the gnomes here, I want to go check on how the gnomes are doing, particularly considering that they've not got themselves anything.
Okay, back at the bar.
Yep.
You are standing near some gnomes.
Hey, all of you. How are you, holding up?
Very glad to be out of the warehouse, miss. But we're still... we've always been slaves, and unfortunately we can't get anything here. The bar... There's nothing at the bar they can give us.
Give me 2 seconds, and I usher over Madame Valerie.
Hello.
Because I believe you've got the money.
I do.
And then I turn to the bartender and go, hey, what have you got in the way of food that we can purchase?
Yeah, no problem. We got cake. We got cake. You want some cake? Like chocolate or vanilla, or there's a nice seed cake. Got quite a bit of seasoning to it. I think we've got peanuts, and there's some of that meaty snack jerky stuff. Adventurer jerky.
Can we just get a little bit of everything?
You want anything to drink with that?
I think water's a very good plan.
Water seems a very good plan.
Bit of crystal. We got spores. Dove leaf.
I'm gonna have some of that crystal, mate.
Okay.
I'm gonna maybe have some crystal in a little bit, but I'm gonna focus on sorting the gnomes out first.
Okay.
Well, if we're buying things at the bar, I might as well, get it all at once.
Exactly. So just to confirm, you're getting drinks, some crystal, and cake.
Yep. Okay, get me some crystal while we're here. I'm not going to have it yet, but
okay.
grab
Did you
some
want
crystal.
anything else that he mentioned?
I'm all right for the second. I think if we can get some water, some water, some crystal, some cake,
Okay.
we're probably all right.
How many water do you want?
How much water is one water?
It's a bottle of water.
A bottle of water. Okay.
I think 1 bottle each is probably a good idea.
Yeah, 1 bottle each.
Okay. It comes in a small, decent-looking leather pouch.
Hooray! Water pouches!
Yay!
Not a shitty bottle that will break immediately.
No.
No. We're very environmentally conscious around here. Like to make sure everything can be used a few times. We're very at one with nature, you know.
This sounds lovely. Thank you.
It's pretty nice.
Right. Let's see. Crystal. 6 waters. How many cake?
A bit of cake each.
6 cake.
Yeah.
Yep.
10 gold.
Okie dokie. I hand 10 gold over.
So you hand over the cash, and the bartender goes about collecting various bits. He breaks you off quite a sizable bit of crystal, grinds it all up, and hands it to you in a couple of small paper envelopes. And you hand I'm guessing you hand the cake out.
Yep, I make sure that all the gnomes have got some cake.
Oh, thank you so much. You've done so much for us.
It's alright, happy to help.
Forever in your debt. Thank
So-
you so much.
No, that's not how this works. That's not how this works. You're not in our debt. We're just doing a nice thing for you, and you don't need to worry about repaying it to us. Got it?
Thank you, from our hearts, from our hearts.
That's all right.
Now,
Okay.
we're probably going to spend a bit of time here, so let us know if you need anything, but we're going to just enjoy ourselves here for a little bit, if that, sounds like a good plan. If that's all right.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So, before we do anything else, I have a bit of a suspicion, so I kind of want to go and chat to the person that's curled up with the battle lynx.
Okay.
Same, actually.
Okay, you head back towards the person who was cuddling a beautiful rainbow battle lynx that is clearly bigger than she is. By the time you get back, she has her hands on either side of the battle lynx's face and is going, "Who's your nommy, 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 nom, 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 nom."
Hey!
And she turns around in shock. "Hello, darlings.
How are you?
I am fucking amazing right now.
You seem like you're having a good time.
I am having an amazing time, and Sonomi's doing pretty good too. And you Sonomi,
They're called Sonomi?
This is Sonomington Portsmouth. He is my trusted friend and companion.
Just like a random guess, have you had any of that crystal over there?
Yeah, I'm kind of flipping and flopping tonight. Had a bit of crystal, had some spores. It's all really good.
Okay. I'm starting to get a sense of, I had my suspicions what that crystal might be doing for people, and I'm glad to know it's making them have a good time.
Valerie very cheekily slides up beside Brilmara and goes, Hey, Brilmara. And Valerie holds out her hand with a pointed finger, and there is some crystal on the end of the finger. And Valerie says very closely, "You should suck my finger."
Don't do this at home, kids.
I took a bit of crystal off the finger.
Yes! It tastes disgusting. It makes you... it's like you've just eaten salt. It's a bitter, and it makes you go...
I also suck my finger.
I think we should offer some to Thrall as well.
Thrall...
Just a little bit.
Okay, if you offer some to Thrall, he does not look comfortable with the idea.
That's okay. Other things that I want to do while we're here, I want to go and just have a bit of a chat with the elf that's looking after the far gone ones.
Okay, you just leaving the halfling then?
I will come back to you in a minute, and we will have a chat in a little bit, if that's cool.
Yeah, sure. See you around, yeah?
Yeah.
And she goes back to just running her fingers through Sonomington Portsmouth's fur. Okay, so you're heading over to where the people who were looking way far gone were, yeah?
Yeah, I kind of fancy chatting to the elf that's looking after them.
Okay, you head over to where you saw those people. They are... One of them is sort of sitting up, looking a bit concerned. They're holding their water pouch and cuddling the person they're with. There is no sign of the tall, angular elf.
Oh.
Okay, I'll have a quick chat with the ones who are looking a bit concerned, looking a bit far gone. Just be like, hey, how are you all? You doing all right down there?
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay, just checking you're having a good time. Do you need anything?
Have you got any papers?
I don't think we have at the second. Sorry.
Thanks, though.
That's alright.
I really like your tattoos.
Thank you. I got them by making a pact with the Dark Eldritch Goddess. It's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Isn't it just? They seem to be having a good time by themselves.
Okay. Where to next?
Oh, where do we go on our various adventures? I feel like I've been doing a lot of directing where we're going during this time at the party so far. Valerie, do you have any suggestions on what you would like to do while we're here?
As Brilmara turns around to talk to Valerie, Brilmara realises that Valerie is not there, and is instead stood in the middle of the room. Well, I say stood. She's dancing her fucking arse off.
Nice. Okay.
Is
So-
Thrall still
And is
with,
thus slightly indisposed.
is Thrall still with me or with you?
I don't know.
Which do you think would be more interesting?
I think Thrall would probably be a little bit disconcerted by Madame Valerie's sudden enthusiasm, and will likely be clinging to your leg at the moment.
Okay.
Also, Thrall not much of a dancer.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't imagine so. I kind of just want to go with Thrall, and you mentioned before there were some areas with, like, blankets and stuff.
Yeah, there's seating areas all around the main dance floor.
Okay, I want to find just, like, somewhere on the edge of the dance floor where we can see Valerie having a dance, but we can just, curl up with a blanket on some chairs near the dance floor and watch for a minute.
Okay, you find yourself a nice little cosy spot near one of the mushrooms. Gather some blankets and cushions around you. Make yourself a little cotchy nest for the evening. Thrall is starting to relax a little bit, but he's absolutely eyes focused on Madame Valerie. As you sort of sit there for a little while, you Brilmara, do start to feel like a bit up in your body. You're feeling a bit more enthusiastic and lively, and you notice that your feet are tapping away to the rhythm of the music. And it's about this time, when you're starting to look a little bit excitable and warm, that's the elf you saw earlier in the fantastic rainbow coat comes and sits by you.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, lovely to meet you.
So nice to meet you too. What's your name?
I'm Aaron.
Hi, Aaron.
It's nice to meet you. Do you come here a lot?
This is the first time here.
Oh, cool. This is my first time too. We're like buddies, yeah? That's great.
Yeah.
You here with anyone? Just the two of you?
Well, we're also here with the shouty one over there.
I tried to make it sound distant and echoed, but I just screamed a bit too loud.
You sounded very enthusiastic, which I think right now is perfectly how you should sound. Yeah, away with her. She's very excited.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah, yeah. Say, do you want a drink? And he holds up this drinking flask, and as he sort of offers it to you, you notice on the back of his hand there appears to be some kind of brand, or it's possibly been burnt. There's some scarring on the back of his hand.
Can I do some kind of check to see if I recognise what this is?
What are you looking for?
I don't know. Let's have a look. Possibly, history check?
Okay.
15.
You're pretty sure it is a brand. You're not sure what it means, but you know that's generally a brand of this sort on the back of somebody's hand probably isn't a good sign.
Yeah, I'm okay, thanks, but thank you for offering the drink, but no thank you.
He offers you a broad smile. Yeah, no problem, yeah. You guys on anything tonight?
Oh, we might have had a little bit of crystal.
Oh, the crystal's very good. I know a lot here mix it with spore, but if you want something a bit more interesting, I can get you some purple worm.
And at this point, I'm here like, oh, I remember something about purple worm, but also I really want to dance right now. How do I focus on this situation?
I don't know, only you can decide that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what's an interesting reaction to have in universe. As a reminder, what did we learn about Purple One previously? Because I know it was being sold by Dodgy Dave?
Dodgy Dave, the dealer.
Yes.
Dodgy Dave. And did we get any real specifics as to what it did at the time, or was it just a very vague, it's a really good drug?
What you remember from Dave's description was that it's very pleasant, total euphoria. You'll see sort of traces off of your hands. You've noticed this, and you also remember tying this to the kobolds you saw in the street, not far from the Carttown warehouse in Moortown, who was just zoned out and staring at their hands and giggling. It's very euphoric, and you don't get any of the sickness that you used to get with the old stuff. You did not inquire as to what the old stuff was.
Yeah. Okay. I know some people who've had this before, and I think it was this, and they got sick before or something.
It's like worm. It's upgraded. The high elves, they do their thing, you know?
So this isn't the thing that made people ill?
It's the same stuff, but the high elves fixed it. They're really good like that. It's
The
great.
high
I mean, it
elves,
stops
huh?
you even having nightmares.
So the high high so the high elves make
You're
this
starting to
stuff?
feel really, really hyper and excitable,
and
and you're a little bit sweaty.
So I have some water when I feel myself starting to get sweaty.
Hydration is important.
Hydration is important when you feel hot and sweaty. So the high elves did make this stuff. I'm sorry if I'm asking a lot of questions. I'm just suddenly really interested in asking about things. Are they to do with the thing on your hand?
And he sort of pulls his coat down a little bit over that hand. I wasn't quite ready for a tattoo. I thought I'd try something a bit different, you know? So everyone's got tattoos, you know?
That's okay.
Kind of an underdog favourite.
Sorry. I know I'm asking lots of questions, but I'm just really interested right now. Sorry.
I think, like, trainee wizards used to have to go and get worm, and they'd do it for some vision quest thing. The problem is that stuff can make you really sick if you're not ready for it. So the high elves just improved it, fixed it. And now
Okay.
people go and get the worm, the high elves fix it with their magic, and you get purple, and it's all good.
So people take it to the high elves. So the high elves, like, they don't make it; they just fix it.
Just fix the worm.
Okay. And I'm squirreling this all away as best as I can while Hyper being like, high elves, right,
Okay,
what do I
your
do?
legs are really
go,
starting to go now.
Okay. It's nice to talk to you. I think I got about as much as I can do with talking to you, and I need to be moving. I think. Hello, goodbye.
Brilmara!
Yeah.
Brilmara!
Yeah.
I'm having a very good time. Come and have a good time with me.
I look down to Thrall and I go, Thrall, are you up for trying and having a dance with me?
Thrall looks very nervously at you.
Do we want to have a little dance on the edge, away from everyone else?
He will sort of stay with you, but he doesn't seem like he's actually going to do any of the actual dancing himself.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have a little bit of a dance, but I'm here if you need me. Is that okay?
And he gives you a single nod.
And I start to have a dance.
As you get to the edge of the dance floor, somebody bumps into you, and you're pretty sure it's Ferrus, and they're making fairly quickly for the exit.
I try and follow after them, because, you know, they can't leave without saying anything. It's them. You know, I know them.
You lose Ferrus in the crowd, you get spun round accidentally, and you're suddenly struck by the amazing colours of the glowing mushrooms. And in that moment that you're slightly disoriented and lost in the beautiful lights, you completely lose sight of Ferrus. Although, at the other side of the room, you do notice somebody else in a pink suit jacket, wearing blue dungarees, and they appear to be dabbing, and as they dab, they are firing splashes of colour and light across the room that are sticking to the ceiling.
I want to go and try and dab with them.
I feel like this is going to be a very Brilmara heavy episode.
I apologise
Okay.
that I'm like jumping on things to do. Jump in at any time if you want to do something, Valerie.
Oh, I will, don't worry. I'm just having a very good time dancing right
Very,
now. And
very
also
good time.
witnessing your wonderful, wonderful shenanigans.
Brilmara sort of wanders across the dance floor, very careful not to bump into people, and it being this kind of party, the person that you do bump into and sort of nudge their drink a bit, you're very apologetic, but they're immediately like, no, and they offer you a hug, and
I give them a hug back.
okay, you
Very
have
good
a hug, and
hugs.
it's a good hug.
Yeah.
It's quite a long hug. It's about 20 seconds, and at the end of it, you just feel really close and like there's been a nice bond, and you're just sort of happy, and they give you like
And-
the double
and-
thumbs up.
Interestingly, there were no rolls required for that nice hug.
No, none whatsoever.
Just a nice hug.
It's almost like something is affecting your autism rolls.
it's almost like something is affecting my autism rolls and making it so I'm not currently having to do them. So yeah, I wanna get over to the dabbing person and try dabbing with them.
Okay, you head over to this person in the fantastic pink suit jacket and dungarees. As you get closer, you realise that they're wearing like large stompy boots that have been painted delicately with flowers.
Okay, those are
And
super
they
cute.
are just going from side to side around, sort of pointing around the room at various points, and just splashing up just these amazing sprays of colours that seem to just fire out from the extended hand of their dab.
Hey, I'm sorry. How do you make your dabs do that?
I'm lit, you know.
I thought I was lit, but apparently not. My dabs don't do that.
If you want to be lit for dabbing, you've got to really commit to it.
I thought I was committed to dabbing. I did a dab off with someone recently, and I won, and I did a backflip dab. It was very cool.
You have to feel the dab. Let the dab be part of you. It's got to be everything that you are. It's got to come from right inside.
Can you teach me?
I can try.
Young Dabba one.
Oh my god, am I going to learn to be lit?
You might learn to be lit.
Oh my god, am I trying to learn to be a new lit dab wizard or something?
Okay, let's... What would be an appropriate role for learning a skill?
Oh.
Intelligence, I suppose. With
Intelligence.
disadvantage because you're bollocksed.
Intelligence with disadvantage, right.
Cross his fingers, cross his fingers, cross his fingers.
5.
Okay, that's a 5. Okay, this person, who you've been very rude and haven't asked their name, tries to show you a few moves, and you're getting the physical part of it vaguely correct, but there is something missing because you're not getting the splashes of colour.
I'm sorry. I'm not getting this. I think I just rushed into this. I'm sorry. I didn't even ask your name. Sorry. I'm Brilmara. Who are you?
I'm AJ. Pleased to meet you, Brilmara.
It's
Would you like a hug?
Yes, I would love a hug. I don't normally like hugs, but I would love a hug.
And you have another lovely long hug. The people here seem to go for a longer hug, and something about that just seems to make you feel much more connected with them. It could just be the crystal, you know.
It's just, something about 20 seconds as a hug length that just works.
Just releases that little bit of oxytocin.
Yeah.
Between sort of teaching you things, AJ is still casting out these amazing splashes of colour all across the ceiling, and for a few moments they are beautiful, bright lights, and then they sort of fade and almost seem to drip off the ceiling, but they are nothing by the time they are at sort of head height of the people.
Oh, this is so beautiful. I'm sorry. I know I rushed into this being like, oh, you're doing a cool thing. I can totally do it while slightly bollocksed, but
If you keep practicing, I'm sure you'll learn.
I love dabbing. Dabbing is one of the few things that I seem to be relatively good at, and I do pretty well when I do it, so...
I'm sure if you keep practicing, just practice what I taught you. If you keep trying, I'm sure you'll get something. You can always add me on the Scrytome. I'm on there if you want to connect sometime.
Yes, please. How do I find you on there?
I'm AJ.
You're AJ. That's fine.
I'm AJ. I'm lit.
Yes, AJ is lit. I will find lit AJ.
I'm also on Instagram. You can see some of my work on there as Lit AJ Dabmeister.
Lit AJ Dabmeister. I know that my dabs aren't lit, but can I show you a dab?
Oh sure, I live a good dab.
Okay, what kind of dab do I want to do for AJ while slightly bollocksed?
You're gonna have disadvantage on whatever throw you do.
That's fine. I'm looking through skills, being like, is there any skill that like contextually might not have disadvantage when bollocksed? Like insight would
You
inside...
still have that point of inspiration.
No, I believe I used it last episode. Let me double check. I believe I don't have it anymore. Nope, I used it.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure I used it on some kind of dab.
Didn't you get another point of inspiration for something?
No, I think I used the only one I
okay.
had. Okay, I want to go for performance.
Naturally.
Yeah. I want to dab into a hug. I want to see if I can dab into a hug and make it into one smooth motion where I dab into a hug.
Okay. I can't picture that. I mean, I know I can't picture that because that's not
I know
a Fantasia.
you can't picture that's what makes it so amazing. It's how does that even work? Oh, it somehow did. That's the
It's so spectacular, it defies all known laws of
That
physics.
is the performance element. I somehow made a dab turn into a hug.
You cannot change the laws of physics, laws of physics, laws of physics. Please go ahead and roll performance for this entirely impossible hug.
Disadvantage, I get a 3.
Yep, that was a critical fail.
Yeah.
Okay, you go for the dab, and as you bring your arm forward to do the hug, you accidentally crack AJ in the eye,
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
and he's like, it's okay, it's no arm, yep, quite a dab you got there.
I'm normally better at dabbing. This is clearly not my day for dabbing. I'm having a great time, but I'm not in a good state to learn dabbing or to demonstrate dabbing.
Is this the beginning of Brilmara's vision quest into realising that she can use dabs offensively?
I don't know, that last one was pretty offensive.
Yeah, I know, right? That's
Like
like
it's like an
oh
unseen
no!
servant.
Oh no!
Dabs.
Oh. There's combat potential.
I'm sorry. I'm going to leave you be because I'm clearly not as good at dabbing right now as I would like to think. But it has been lovely to meet you, and I feel like I need to talk to you after this all passes. So I'm going to talk to you later.
Have a lovely time, Brilmara. It's lovely to meet you.
Thank
and
you.
he offers you another hug.
I accept another hug.
And you have another excellent hug.
Thank you. I will be back, and I will become a lit dabber. And I head off.
Gives you a little salute and then dabs a quite spectacular splash of colour across the ceiling, with a pattern that looks vaguely like some of your tattoos.
Nice.
Oh. Okay, so for now, I'm going to just go chill with Thrall for a little bit, who I am very much into. And Valerie, do you want to be doing anything for a bit?
Yeah, let's have some Val.
Yeah, let's have some Val. I have been dancing so much and have been so invested in the dance that I've completely forgotten what currently exists in this room.
I can remind you of a couple of things that I can remember. There is the bar. There is the person who was with the battle links. There is the people who were very far out of it. There is... What else is there?
There is Aaron.
Oh, yes, there's Aaron. There is AJ, the lit dab wizard. I don't know if they're
AJ,
a
the
wizard,
lit
but
dab
in my
wizard.
head I see them dabbing magically.
It doesn't matter if their class is wizard or not. What matters most is that they have perfected the art of dab wizardry.
Yeah. Any of those catching your attention?
Is there like
There's
a smoking
there's
area?
also the two orcs in the interesting outfits and their bugbear that were sitting at a table talking to Ferrus earlier. There is a smoking area.
You know what? This fruity tobacco, I've seen some people have it before. Might give it a shot and go out and see if I can socialise with anyone in the smoking area.
Okay, so you've bought some fruity tobacco as well.
Bought some fruity tobacco.
Okay, well let's have another gold off for that.
Okie dokie.
And
I'm gonna-
some papers. We'll assume you
Add some
picked up
papers. Yeah. I go out into the smoking area.
Okay,
and,
let's
observe
have
the scene.
what role would this be?
What to roll
To roll it's crafting, I suppose. What's a good crafting
sleight
roll?
of hand? 7.
Okay, you are standing in the corner of the smoking area, just sort of vibrating slightly, holding a paper that is getting progressively more and more damp because you're so sweaty, with far too much tobacco to go in this tiny bit of paper. Desperately
really
trying to
tight
focus on it,
drawer,
but there seem to be 3 or 4 of them, and you're desperately trying to roll it into a thing. And a tall drow woman, in all white, comes up to you and says, "Do you want a hand with that?"
Yes, please. I'm having a bit of difficulty.
And
My name's Valerie, by the way. What's yours?
I'm Alice. Pleased to meet you. And
Pleased to meet you.
I'm going to need another paper off you, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure. I shakily hand her the pack of
Okay,
papers.
she takes a paper off you, and within a couple of seconds, she has expertly rolled this a perfectly straight, perfectly smokable cigarette.
That was fucking amazing!
I've been doing this for years. And she hands you back all the extra tobacco that she tipped out of your overly pregnant cigarette and your papers. And she hands you the expertly rolled cigarette and offers you a light.
I very graciously take the light whilst blushing a little bit because of the whole situation.
She clicks her fingers and makes a small burning hands in front of you. And
I grin.
You very carefully light your cigarette from it. It smells of sort of zesty, orangey and lemony. It doesn't make you cough too much. It's quite a smooth hit. And it just feels quite pleasant. And it's really scratching that itch that you have at the moment.
Oh, nice. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
No problem.
So, do you come here often?
Oh, I'm here all the time.
This is my first time. It's very exciting.
Are you enjoying it so far?
Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's very nice.
Are you here with anyone, or?
Yeah, I'm here with my partners, actually. I'm here with, I don't know if you've seen them in the other room. Brilmara, she's, a short dwarf. I'd say short dwarf. She's a dwarf. That's how, anyway, she has lots of tattoos. They're very cool. And, little Thrall, who's, a kobold.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, we don't get many.
They're lovely.
You don't meet enough polyamorous people.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny actually. We were, you know, the PolyArmoury, right?
Yeah,
you know that branch. We we work for them, so it's kind of
polyamory.
It's kind of,
polyamory.
yeah, it's pretty great, isn't it? It's pretty good.
And I shout through the door, it's almost like the two of those things line up in a way that's narratively interesting and consistent and makes a good title. Become momentarily self-aware.
And somehow overhearing a conversation some considerable distance from you. Across the other side of the smoking area, you see the orcs from earlier with their bugbear, and the woman with the purple hair and all the incredible garish jewelry is smoking a long cigarette and sort of talking slightly aggressively to the very disinterested looking her orc companion.
Oh,
their bugbear is just sort of standing behind them, looking a bit goofy and uncomfortable in their suit.
So, Alice, what do you do? What's your thing?
Oh, I work in Groybon. It's nothing exciting.
Oh, yeah, that's fair enough. It's fair enough. I went there for the first time the other day. Actually, it's big.
It's very big, very crowded.
It's very big. Yeah, isn't it just?
The crystal's pretty, but
oh yeah,
it's
no,
not
it's
like the
quite
stuff
nice.
they have here. And she winks.
So, do you know what's up with the orcs over there? The orcs at the bugbear, because they seem, I don't know, they don't seem to be enjoying themselves that much.
I don't know. They look like they've come here for business. I'm not sure who does business at Faerie Forest.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like an ideal environment.
It's not very worky, and
No, it's not.
To be honest, most people here are absolutely fucked. But
Yeah,
and that's kind of the point for a lot of them. I mainly come for the dancing.
that's respectable. The dancing is super great. Super great.
Captain Simeon is quite the musician.
It's fantastic, really, absolutely brilliant. It's like all of the range of a one-man band without any of the awkward clunkiness. It's phenomenal.
I mean, as a creature, I had no idea where he came from, but he's certainly magnificent.
Absolutely. One wonders how he does it. I mean, I suppose with his 12 arms, really, but...
I think whoever made him, or wherever he came from, it's got to be pretty interesting.
Absolutely.
I've never
One
seen
can
him not
only-
playing, so it's very difficult to say what that would be like.
Yeah, I should imagine, yeah. Maybe he never stops.
That is a theory.
It is a theory.
A
Game theory! No, sorry. I'm sorry.
I sometimes see Rose head over and give him something to smoke.
Oh,
But
yeah.
you're right, I don't see him stop very often.
What a fascinating individual.
He is that.
Yeah.
For a while I wasn't even sure if he was real. But I've been to a few of these now, and I saw him at somebody else's hand fasting a while back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, doesn't say much, but and he very much likes his spore.
Suppose he speaks through his music, really.
I think that can be said for anyone.
It's true. It's very true. Take another puff.
Okay. And you see the orcs and the bugbear head back into the main dance room, and as they move, you notice that Aaron is sort of standing behind them, talking to someone else. They don't seem very interested in the conversation, and Aaron sort of looks over and looks at you and starts to make...
Aaron is the elf,
That's correct,
right?
that's the pretty elf.
Yes. Just wanted to double check.
He makes his way over to you. Hi, yeah, I was talking to your friend earlier. Yeah, you having a good night?
Oh, yeah. Having a great time.
Yeah.
You spoke to Brilmara?
Yeah, I spoke to Brilmara.
Yeah.
I'm Aaron.
Yeah,
by
I
the
was going
way.
to say, because if you were speaking to Thrall, that would be a one-sided conversation.
Is that the kobold guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't say much, but he's nice.
I assumed he was just really fucked.
Nah, actually, that's just him. That's just little old Thrall.
Nice. You having a good time?
Yeah, having a good time. What about you?
Oh yeah, having a great time.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. I like your jacket. It's very fancy.
Thanks. Yeah, I bought it off a guy in Groybon. A lot of very interesting little market stalls there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you know how it is. Like, Groybon's got everything for everyone.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. I need to go there more often. Seems like there's a lot of unexplored places there that we should really visit. So.
Loads of places. Yeah, I mean, that's where the High Elves are based.
It's true. Yeah.
I shout
Speaking
over
of-
the room, remind me we should talk about the High Elves.
Speaking of
Okay.
which, you are far too far to be shouting each other.
Okay,
that's fine.
Even far too farer to be hearing each other over the music.
Fine.
It's alright, we just have this, like, deep spiritual connection, you know?
As we do with everyone here, I am sure.
Indeed!
Right now, yeah. Say, speaking of the High Elves,
Uh-huh.
do you want some purple worm?
Right, so I've heard a lot about this purple... Oh, I've not heard much about this purple worm. I've heard, like... There's, where I come from Moortown, right? And there's
I
this...
used to know a guy there.
There's this guy called Dave.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
try Dodgy Dave. Is what we call him. I don't know if that's a common colloquialism to refer to him. Now listen, right? I tend to be skeptical about this sort of thing. Because got to put your safety first and all that jazz.
Yeah.
But I am a little bit curious.
Well, you got to live a little,
It's true. It's true.
We're all
It's
here
true.
to have a good time.
Give me some comparisons. Say compared to the crystal. What was the other thing? Can't remember.
Spore
I'm a little bit fucked.
and,
Spores and Doveleaf. Give me a comparison. What if I was to compare crystal and purple worm? How did the effects differ?
You don't feel like as hyper as you can do with the crystal. It's very chill, relaxed, more like smoking some Doveleaf, but it's very visual. You'll see all kinds of crazy stuff.
You know what? How much?
3 golds.
3 golds? And how much of that get me?
Just the one, yeah. That's all
Just the
you'll
one? Just the one?
need.
Single use? I'm going to assume, because it's consumable.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay, one of your finest purple worms, please.
You hand him some gold, and you are handed a small, round, maybe about an inch across. It looks like you know what a red blood cell looks like under a microscope.
Ah,
It's
yeah.
that sort of a
it's
disc with a dip in the middle.
A concave disc.
That's correct, and
Yes.
it sort of feels slightly rubbery.
Okay. So I'm a little bit inexperienced. Do I just eat this?
Just give it a chew, yeah. You'll
Just
have
give
a
it a chew?
good time.
Okay. Thank you very much. I will might talk to you soon if I take a particular fancy to this.
Anytime. I'm always around.
I'm suddenly realizing, just out of character, why I've been so terrified of purple worm. It's because in my mind, purple worm is a synonym for "oh my god, you're going to get completely destroyed." Because purple worms in the D&D universe are kind of fatal.
They are that.
Yeah, I'm just realizing, like, a lot of my baggage about purple worm is, oh, that's gonna fucking destroy ya.
I finished my fruity cigarette. Is Alice still here? Or did
Alice is still there. She's having a cigarette of her own.
Okay. Hey, Alice, I'll catch you in a bit, okay? I'm probably going to come out again later, so have a good one. That is pleasure meeting you, if I somehow don't see you again. But yeah.
Lovely to meet you, Valerie. Would you like a hug?
Fucking absolutely.
And she gives you
Big squeezy hug.
She gives you a big old squeezy hug. She's considerably taller than you are.
And it's nice.
It is nice because you're just about boob height, and she gives you a big
And
old hug.
I was- yep.
nice long hug, and it lasts about a good sort of 20 seconds.
That's a tall drow.
That is a tall drow.
Nice.
And and you have a beautiful hug, and you feel much more connected with Alice as a result of that.
Hey,
All that
Alice
oxytocin.
will remember that.
Alice will remember that.
I'm going to eat the worm and then walk back into the other room.
Okay, you put the purple worm in your mouth, and you start chewing. You realise almost immediately that it is some kind of fungus. It must be just by the texture. You've eaten mushrooms in the past, and there is that slightly rubbery texture to it of an uncooked mushroom, a certain moisture, and you feel that almost immediately start to make your tongue tingle a little bit. You chew and chew away, eventually sort of swallow it down. And it hits your stomach, and initially you feel a little drop in your stomach, and then straight away it just bounces right back up, and you feel like it's almost like your stomach's gone numb. You're not feeling whatever it is that might be making you feel ill otherwise. And after a minute or two, you notice that if you stay still, that rainbows seem to bleed out of the edges of everything.
Whoa.
So any, like, an angle where one thing meets another thing, it's almost like there is a cloud of rainbows just seeping out of it.
Oh, fuck.
And it's almost like static on a television, but rainbow coloured.
Ah.
You're a little bit staggery.
Huh. I think I'm going to go sit underneath the blue mushroom.
Okay, the one that was previously a nest.
Yeah, go on.
You find that mushroom to be unoccupied, and you make a little nest there, and sort of curl up and lie down, and everything feels really, really good. Nice. Your head feels light, and you feel like your whole body is like if you just had a little bit more push up, you would literally just float away into the air.
Oh. Now, is this happening separate of the effects of the crystal, or are they sort of both going at once?
On top of the effects of the crystal, your body feels quite rushy, but you're very relaxed and calm. You feel very connected with everyone around you. But you're starting to get a lot of visuals, like as people move past you, you're sometimes getting like shadows of them. They exist as sort of illusory forms behind themselves. When you've seen Brilmara cast her illusion form, and you see sort of multiple versions. It's like that, but these persons are sort of duplicating behind themselves as they move.
Uh-huh.
And then they sort of fade, and then you might have some other vision that takes over. And it all
Do I
feels
feel
very
connected
good.
to each of the different copies of the people?
No, you're just aware that it is an interesting sight that you're seeing. It's quite a thing.
Okay.
Nothing you've ever experienced before, and you're you notice that everything around you feels really nice. Like you're touching the blankets underneath you, and you're sort of stroking those, and that all feels very nice. There is that you are a little bit concerned about the strange numbness you feel in your stomach. Like,
that is
like
a little bit.
the middle is missing. But apart from that, like, you're really enjoying it.
Okay.
Almost like your sort of stomach has been anaesthetized.
I'll have a sip of water.
You have a sip of water, and you feel a bit more refreshed. Because your mouth is starting to get a bit sort of claggy. And Thrall comes over to sort of check on you, and as he sort of comes to inspect you and gives you sort of like a little bit of a sideways head, like a little head tilt, to look at you.
I gesture to Thrall to come down and sit next to me in the nest.
And as he looks at you and does that head tilt, his eyes seem to go different sizes. His expression, his mouth expression, almost seems to slide sideways off of his face and land on the floor at his feet. But he does come and stand over.
Does he still have a face after that? Is it like
he still have a face, but
another
it's like his
came
mouth
off?
has just fallen off on the floor. He comes and sits next to you, and looks a bit concerned, and is holding your hands. If anything, that feels a little bit tight. But you're comforted by the fact that it is Thrall, he is your boy, and you love him very much.
I give Thrall a cuddle and, like, sort of stroke his scaly head.
Okay. You notice that the texture of his scales under your hands feels a little bit sort of cold, and you're getting very into the texture, and before you know it, you're literally just, from an outside perspective, just sitting there stroking his head constantly, and Thrall is looking a little bit uncomfortable, but you can't really tell, because in your head, his mouth is sort of swaying and swirling across his face, and his eyes are each getting larger and smaller. You don't feel bad about this. It's unusual and odd, but you don't feel that this is something to be scared of. You see
I was going to go investigate the mysterious and strange business couple, but now I'm completely wankered.
Between the three of you, you see the woman who greeted you at the front, who Alice explained was Rose, go and start to sit and talk to the business couple and their bugbear. Not far from the main stage, the raised dais in the centre, where Captain Simeon is playing. And at the moment, it's this really sort of real world. It would be trance, quite pony trance as well. Something you could gallop to.
Nice.
And the dance floor is going absolutely crazy. There's people just sweating. There's some people here who are clearly very good dancers. Like, they spend a lot of time practicing moves. They've got some great stuff going on. There's somebody in the corner of the room spinning fire poi, but they're just out of range. They're being very spatially aware and making sure there's no risk of hitting anyone, and obviously that's quite attractive to the eye. But it appears that the business couple are having quite a heated conversation with Rose. It's very quickly going uncomfortably. You notice that the woman with the burgundy dress and the purple hair is holding a book, and she's gesturing at Captain Simeon and pointing to the bugbear, and there appears to be some loud conversation. And then you see a sort of a flash go up from Rose. She sends up some kind of spell. You see three of the lizard folk come out of the shadows and over to the business couple, and sort of hovering over them, looking quite severe and annoyed. And the woman in the burgundy dress says something or other, and it doesn't appear to go well, and Rose points out towards the door, and you see them leaving. Brilmara, where are you at this point?
I think since my adventures with trying to be a lit dabber, I think I've been trying to I've been on the dance floor trying to get both of my urges to dance and my desire to be lit at dabbing dealt with at once by doing some dab dancing, where I basically just try and dab in time with the music. Very standard dabs.
Excellent. As you do so, and I can tell that you're sort of focused on everything AJ's taught you. You're almost practicing it. You are starting to notice little flecks of colours just dripping out of your fingers. When you do it.
On top of just doing the dabbing, one thing I want to try focusing on is you said that something that AJ had done seemed familiar to one of my tattoos.
Yes.
I want to focus on that tattoo while I continue dab dancing.
Okay.
And see if that makes a difference at all.
You're focusing on that, and you are starting to notice sort of drips of colour coming out of your fingers as you're practicing. It's like it's there with practice. You think maybe if you were less bollocksed, maybe if you were in a different environment, but you're having a good time anyway. You're getting your dance on. You feel much better for moving, and as you're doing so, you're sort of vaguely barged out of the way by the lizard folk escorting the two orcs out of the room. Can you roll perception, please?
Yes. Right. So my passive perception is 10.
And you can have advantage on this.
Advantage, right? Perception. 18, thanks to advantage.
Nice.
Thank goodness.
As they are escorted past you, they vaguely bump into you, and that sort of jars you, and you start to focus very much on what it is that has struck you. And you notice, as they're being led past, that the woman in the burgundy dress is holding the songbook that Ferrus was looking for in Severton, and they are escorted out of the room and off of the premises.
Presumably because we've got wristbands, I could leave and come back in.
Mm-hmm.
I want to leave, and if they're not too far away, I just want to be like, hey, are you okay? Is everything okay?
You head out to the cart park, and you see these the orcs and their bugbear associate. The woman in the burgundy dress is looking quite flustered and frustrated, and is talking to her, and is talking to the disinterested comrade. The bugbear is, as you've previously seen, just sitting behind them, looking a bit grumpy and disinterested.
Is everything okay?
Oh, fine, darling, fine, yeah. And she goes to ignore you and continue talking to her colleague.
So
Who does she think she is, kicking us out of here?
who kicked you out?
Oh, that woman.
Why was she... Sorry, I'm very interested in people right now. Why did she kick you out?
And the orc in the cotton shirt and denim trousers. Sorry, look, we're very busy people. We don't really have time to talk to your sorts. We're here on business. Look, unless you can get that crazy old bat sell us some of that sweet music you're wearing in there, I don't think you can really do anything. I don't have time for auditions right now, yeah?
I can talk to her in there, but I'm kind of curious why you have my friend's book there.
We bought this fair and square. We knew where to look for it, so we sent the little dwarf fella to go and get it. Right?
Oh.
Okay,
Won't see us going to a place like Severton. Ugh. Especially not after the humans have had to do it with it. Anyway, yes, we're very busy. And the bugbear sort of vaguely growls at you and rolls its shoulders.
I look to the bugbear and just go, okay, are you sure everything's fine? I don't know quite what I'm hoping to get out of doing this, but just sort of looking for some kind of interaction from the bugbear.
Miss Emmy has asked you to leave. I suggest you do so while you still have all your fingers and your head.
At which point I go swiftly back inside.
Okay, you head back inside, and you hear you hear them strike up their conversation again, sounding very irritated.
I want to go to Rose and ask about the people that just got kicked out.
Okay, you head through the club and bump into Rose in her raggedy outfit. She's talking to AJ. It seems to be a bit heated there as well. She seems to be a little bit cross. But almost as soon as you start talking to her, she turns around and there's a flicker of recognition. Hello, darling. Oh, I hope you're having a lovely time.
I am having a lovely, wonderful time. I did some dancing. I'm learning how to make cool colours with my dabs, which is fun.
Oh, AJ's very good at that. You should learn something from him.
I'm trying. I wasn't doing very well because I was trying too hard, and then I did some dancing, and the dancing seemed to make it better. I just want to make sure everything's okay because I was very confused what was going on with those people that had to go.
Oh, don't worry about them, darling. Just have a lovely time. They're not our kind of people. They're not Faerie Forest people.
Okay. Hello again, AJ.
Hello again, Brilmara. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm dancing, and I'm kind of a little bit getting the lit colours.
Oh, that's good. Let's see what you got then. Let's see what you got.
Okay, I focus on the tattoo, and I just start dabbing to the music.
Performance.
Do I have disadvantage or anything?
I don't know. Have you been dabbing more throughout the night? And by dabbing, I don't mean anything to do with your dance moves.
I don't think I have since the initial one.
I will let you have a normal roll on that then.
Even with the normal roll, I only get a 6, but that's better than the 4 I had before.
Okay, you do a very basic dab. It achieves just nothing more than a normal dab. But you don't hit anyone this time, which is nice. And AJ's like, that's some nice form you've got there.
I had it before, and I didn't hit you this time.
I very much appreciate that,
Yeah,
Brilmara.
I had little bits of colour coming out of my fingers. It was great.
Excellent. Well, you keep on going, love. I'm sure you'll get it in no time.
I wanted to show off my colours.
Aww.
Brilmara!
Yeah?
Brilmara!
Yeah?
Brilmara?
Yeah?
Oh, Brilmara!
Yeah?
Come here!
I'll be back in a minute, AJ. Thank you. Hello, goodbye. And I go over to Valerie.
Okay.
I stare intently at Brilmara to see what happens.
As she approaches, Brilmara's hair appears to just flow like it's in water, and it burns like fire. It seems to flicker like fire, but as if fire was moving underwater.
Oh.
Are you okay there?
Come here. Come. I pat on the other side of me, the side that Thrall is not sitting on.
Brilmara's eyes appear to be absolutely huge, taking up maybe 60% of her face.
Mm-hmm.
And how are you looking at her? Is there a smile?
I assume I would come over smiling.
Okay, you're smiling, and the smile seems to come off the sides of her face, and just sort of be almost independent, as if a cardboard cutout stuck to the front of her, and it's maybe 3 foot across now, and it is this giant crescent moon smile.
Valerie just has this look of astonished wonder on her face.
All of her tattoos seem to be dancing.
Are you doing
Come
good?
here.
Are you doing good down there?
Come here.
I'm coming down.
Sit down.
I'm sitting down. Are you okay?
I'm just fascinated by Brilmara's hair.
Do I sense that you've been having an interesting time down here?
Brilmara's tattoos start to slide off of her arms and her face.
I try to
And
pick
start
up her
to just-
tattoos and put them back on her body.
Okay, as some of them
you're
are sort of
dropping
climbing up your leg.
You're dropping your tattoos. You gotta put them back on.
Hun, what have you had?
Purple worm.
Is it good?
Yeah. It's alright.
Okay, so my tattoos are fine, and I'm doing fine, okay?
No, they're falling off. You need to put them back on.
Okay, I'm putting them back on.
I'm just sort of like sloppily like flailing my hands gently on Brilmara's legs and trying to
Brilmara
push.
says that they're fine, they appear to be back on her body.
Ah.
And the way it happens is it's not jarring. It's like they were always there.
Ah.
But for you, were just momentarily baffled by it. But it all seems fine now. and
Oh,
you're
he
pretty cool with
fixed
that.
it. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
yeah, I'm okay.
How are you?
I'm good. I found someone that can make colours come out their hands when they dab, and I want to learn how to make colours come out my hands when I dab.
Holy fucking shit! I need to see it.
I know, right? I'm not the person that can do it, but I can try and do it. And
Also, feel Thrall's head. And I flop my arm out and grab Brilmara's hand and put Brilmara's hand on Thrall's head gently.
I try and give Thrall a reassuring head scritch.
It feels pretty great.
And Thrall looks a little bit uncomfortable, but a little bit tired of.
But I don't
all
know
of
this because his face is on the floor.
Oh no, his face seems to sort of just be wobbling slightly.
Oh.
And out of his eyes is bleeding rainbows.
Uh-huh.
I look to Thrall and I go, I hope you're doing okay there, hun.
And he gives you sort of non-committal.
At this point, I stand up and I want to try doing my sort of performance role, do some dabs to the music again, and see if I can do any better this time at doing colours with my dabs. So, was that performance?
Yes.
17!
Okay, you do a dab, and as you do so, you where are you aiming, by the way?
I guess standard dabbing position, so both my hands are pointing sort of like up to the left-ish.
Okay. So you're aiming in such a way that you would actually hit the brim of the mushroom that you're standing under, or sitting under, and it flies up, and you get this beautiful splash of yellow, orange, and pink, and then it starts to dribble off like treacle and vanishes before it hits the floor.
What does it look like to me?
It looks like your girlfriend has just splashed colour out of her hands.
Holy
and that have hit
shit.
the side of the rainbow, but the colours for you are much more intense.
Are you made of paint?
See,
I'm learning to
Are
be...
you made of paint now?
I'm learning to be lit.
You're so lit. You're like a dab wizard.
That's kind of what I'm going for.
Oh shit. Oh, so I didn't come up with that.
No.
and as you
Oh.
But it's okay, you totally did, yeah.
Yay! I came up with dab wizard.
Shortly after that display of dabbery, Aaron comes over again.
Aaron! Aaron!
Hey, how's
Aaron.
it going? You look like you're having a good time.
Aaron!
She's having a
Some
good
pretty
time.
lit dabbing.
I met AJ, who's pretty lit at dabbing, and I'm learning to do cool color dabs.
Yeah, I see AJ here all the time. He's really good at that.
I hope I can be eventually. I really like dabbing.
Aaron! Aaron!
Hey,
Aaron!
having
Aaron,
a
the
good
thing
time,
you
yeah?
gave me made my boyfriend's face fall off.
It's all good. It looks like it's grown back.
Yeah,
He sort of smiles
but
at the two
I
of
was
you.
worried for a moment there.
The patches on his coats all seem to be different depths.
Dude!
So, like, one patch might seem like it's right in front of your face, another might feel like it's 100 miles away.
Dude, your code defies space-time. Are you
Yeah,
a
I've
wormhole?
noticed that.
Are you serious? Be serious with me now. Are you a purple wormhole? Oh, no.
And he gives you a look like, that sounded like it might have been an insult, but I'll take it.
No, it wasn't an insult. Wormholes are cool.
So, did you have a think about that purple worm anymore, Brilmara?
You will change you.
Look. It seems fun, but I don't want to leave Thrall here. You know, here's the thing. I don't want to leave Thrall. You know, on look after people duty.
That's a very sensible and selfless decision.
But as long you
Thrall gives you a look like
Does Brilmara get the sense that Thrall is genuinely okay with this?
I roll perception.
6.
He seems absolutely fine.
I'm worried now because of my low roll. Thrall, if I did, would you want to join?
Don't know how to convey what I want to say without words.
Sorry, I realise this is a bit of a challenge of nuanced communication here.
He shakes his head as not wanting to join, but gives you the sort of, like, when you're hurrying somebody along, that sort of, like, waving hands in front of him, like, go, go, go.
Okay, if you're sure. One, please.
That's 3 gold, yeah?
And I sort of rummage around with Valerie.
In Valerie's pockets.
Yeah. I get 3 gold.
Yeah, tickles!
I hand over 3 gold.
In exchange for this 3 gold, you are handed a delicious, a squishy, rubbery purple worm.
I curl up next to Valerie and Thrall. I say thank you and goodbye to our purple worm dispenser. And
Done with you now, fuck
yeah,
off.
thank you. And have some purple worms, sure.
You chew the purple worm. Slowly the world around you starts to melt in beautiful colours and rainbows. The rhythm of the music takes both of you together. You cuddle each other, and you feel absolutely enraptured with each other. Everything about each other, every texture, every part. You've never felt each other like this. You've been close, but you've never been, like, this close. You are almost one with each other as you cuddle and kiss, and Thrall is there with you, looking after you and making sure that you're drinking if you look a bit too hot and sweaty. And everything around you is beautiful lights and the colours and the music. The music seems to be going right through you. The bass you feel inside you. The volume amplified by the cage, it's wonderful. You're occasionally stopping and having a little bit more of the crystal. Everything feels fantastic and wonderful, and time seems to be passing. It seems like centuries are passing in this beautiful, wonderful state of being, absolutely euphoria. There are colours, more colours than you can possibly imagine, and when you close your eyes you see amazing vibrating geometric shapes in rainbow colours and strange dancing figures. After some hours, you become completely disconnected from the world around you, and you sink into your own individual hallucinations, eyes closed visuals. Valerie, you see Thrall, 3 of Thrall, dancing round in a circle, holding his own hands, just happy and smiling, and as his tail cozy, with the little dangly end of the tail cozy,
I forgot about the
flicks
tail
around.
cozy.
Flicks around. It seems to flick rainbow glitter all around as he's dancing with himself, and he looks really happy, and that makes you really happy. And you seem to be flying around this image of these 3 dancing thralls, and then the rune around his neck, it glows green and seems to just expand out, and then you're lying on top of this beautiful green rune, and you feel comfortable and safe and happy. Brilmara.
Yes.
You close your eyes, and you feel like your body is getting longer and longer. Your legs are together, and it almost feels, as you look down, like there are scales there. You see that your legs have turned into the body of a great demonic snake in purple and green, with a reticulated pattern to its colouring. And it turns round and it looks at you with venomous dripping fangs, and you're not afraid of it. You feel like you're very conscious of what this thing is, like you've made a bond with it at some point. You feel absolutely empowered by it. And after a few minutes of staring at you, it does not speak. Its tongue flicks between its lips, tasting the air around it. It suddenly rears back and launches down and clamps its jaws where your feet would be and tears itself loose from the rest of your body and then vanishes. And as it does so, the world around you goes completely black and then goes rainbow colours, and then you are just surrounded by geometric patterns that flash and vibrate. And several hours later, the two of you being carefully guarded by Thrall, who is literally sitting on guard in front of you, watching around.
Oh, you're a good boy, Thrall.
The music is dying down. It's a much sort of calmer, more ambient tempo. And there are a few. The lights seem to be a bit higher in here now. There are people drinking out of small cups. There appear to be hot beverages being passed around. And there's a lot of people. You can smell quite heavily in there. A lot of people smoking dove leaf. So,
That sounds like a good plan right now.
well, thank you very much for joining us. Laura, where can we find you?
You can find me at Laura K Buzz on Twitter, YouTube, anywhere that usernames really exist. You can also find me Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 at kotaku.co.uk.
And Astrid, when you're not hugging the boy's head, where can we find you?
Well, if you go to jaffameister.com, that's jaffameister.com, you can find all of the work that I produce, which includes personal pieces that are typically comical features where I mash communism into video games a little bit. You can also find all of my freelance work, where I have written for Waypoint and The Morning Star, and now GamesIndustry.biz. And you can also find all of my Indie Haven content, of which I'm the editor-in-chief, so go read about some gay-ass video games made by people who don't have publishers telling them what to do.
Yay!
And you can also find me on Twitter, spelled JFMMO, like the website, where I talk about a variety of different things, including communism and video games and gay shit, aforementioned. So you should go follow me, read the things I say, maybe engage in the conversation, and that would be cool.
Excellent. And I can be found as at ManiacJaniac on Twitter, on stonemonkeyradio.blog, where you will find my random reviews and occasionally bits of news about this. I'm on SoundCloud, and you can search for Stone Monkey Radio or Maniac Janiac. On YouTube, you will find at least some content of my work and link to the silly pook monster that I am. It was a dark time for the rebellion. In the meantime, do not forget about our fantastic Hat in Time competition, where you have a chance to win a copy of 3D Collectathon, A Hat in Time. And that is out and very excellent, and I recommend it. If you would like to read a review of it, you can find it over on stonemonkeyradio.blog. The PolyArmoury Twitter can be found as at PolyArmoury SMR. And I believe Valerie's PolyArmoury is
At Valerie PolySMR,
there we go. The Instagram is PolyCuties.
where we'll be posting original artwork from ourselves and also maybe wonderful fan art we'll share there. That would be nice.
Yes. So anyway, yes, our competition is still running. Just tweet #PolySMR. We will find it. And any pictures, any music, anything you want to create, really, that is related to the show, we'll be very happy to see it. So, thank you very much for joining us. Join us again sometime. Bye.
Bye.
Farewell. That was great. I had a good time with that.